Hello, Quailonians. Hello, everybody. My name is Christian. I'm with Undique. And here are the weekly news from the Quail farm. So let's get started. I hope you guys had all a great week. I'm a little exhausted. It was a rough week. A lot to do here on the farm. And we're going to get into that when we come to the news section. Hazel went to the vet yesterday. Hazel is my chief treat tester. She's a Labradoodle and she turned recently 3 years old. So it was time for a little checkup with the vet. And we had a lot of fun there. Right, Hazel? No, not really. She was shaky. I didn't dare to take a picture of her because when she's nervous, she hates to take pictures. But she was so brave. We had to get some blood from her, right? You had to get a few shots. Yeah. So I'm wondering if Hazel appears today. The Hazel camera is ready. And in case you don't want to come, Hazel, I understand it. So you can stay there sleeping. But I think she knows something is up. And before any further ado, let's get our chief treat taster, Hazel, into action. And we might entice her with some crunch sticks. Let's take a look at them. So everything you see today here on the stream is made or laid in the US. I'm based in New Jersey, but Undique is a network of farms all across the United States. We are right now in 10 different states with 14 locations. Just checking my map up there. If you have any questions during the live broadcast, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can also leave a like or follow, of course. And we get into it now. So we raise quail on our farm and they have a happy life. But when the happy life is over, we make great products for your pets out there. And one of the products are the Crunch Bites. And I'm going to hold it up a little further. So it's a stick and you can break it into parts. Little nibbles. And Hazel, they're nice and crunchy, so let me demonstrate. Let's Hazel cam on. Hazel, you're such a good girl, you are. You're not yourself today, I know. Let me adjust the camera here a little. Here we are. Whoop. That was a little blackout. Here we are again. Hazel Dazel. So, what we have here, the crunch stick, right? So take a nip. It's yummy. Get another piece. Oh, why you have some paper off your hair here? You must have been in the packaging area. Don't go in the packaging area. Okay? Give me paw. Good girl. So I hope you hear the nice crunch. So that's the spine of a quail. It's a bone, but it's very soft, right, Hazel? There's a little bit of fat on it. That's okay. It has an awesome taste, right, Hazel? Yeah. Oh, you have a feather hanging off there. Have you been out there with the birds again? Huh? Have you been with the birds? You should not go alone to the birds, I told you. Hazel. Anyway, since you're here and feeling so well, I'm gonna give you also some of the lovely product we have as well, which is the... Do I have it here today? Do I have it here today, Hazel? Your favorite? Let's see. Yeah, the cotton candy. Oh, you're so close up to the camera, honey. That's okay. So the cotton candy. Let's talk about that for a little bit. What is it? Nothing artificial other than the packaging. We need to preserve the good stuff for you. So this is premium air-dried quail meat. Right, Hazel? Let me bring over the light here a little bit. People want to see you. People want to see you. Yeah. So, yeah, she's not feeling herself today after all these vaccines yesterday, all those shots at the vet, right? You can go and lay down if you want. No? Okay. Anyway, so we developed that for pets and dogs, the cotton candy, because we called it... Hey, I wanted to give it to you. I have to talk a little bit about it. Hazel. So it's really just dehydrated quail meat. And none of the yucky stuff in there, of course. So it's just the premium meat. And we process it just slightly to make it fluffy. And there's no artificial color, so you see it's natural yellow. It has a nice gamey taste to it. So that's different with quail meat compared to chicken meat. It's a gamey taste, right, Hazel? Wanna show your lovely face and have a bit more? It's a bit messy, so we developed that more for senior animals if their teeth are not that good anymore. So the crunch bite might be not an option. If it's an older cat or older ferret or older dog, the fluffiness makes it so simple to feed them either as a treat like this, or you sprinkle it on top of the normal food of your pet as a food topper. And Hazel can testify while she's cleaning up the floor. Sorry that I sprinkled some there, honey. Good that we have a clean floor. Hazel, you want a bit more? There you go. Yeah. Okay. Cool stuff for the summertime. Speaking of cool stuff, a little recipe. Take a ice cube tray and fill it up with water. Then sprinkle a little bit of our food topper in there. It might colorize your water a little bit yellow too, because of the natural yellow of the quail meat. And the little fluffy bits will be in those ice cubes. And of course, be careful if it's too hot outside. Ice is not good for your dogs. But if it's like a nice warm day, you can go ahead and give such ice cubes then to your dog or cat, and they can lick it. They get extra hydration. You should always serve fresh water when you feed your animals anyway. But this way you make them a little self-made quail ice popper, right? Hazel, we tried that already and you liked it. You know what? Next time I take a picture that people get a bit of an idea what we made for you there. So this is the pet cotton candy. It lasts quite a while if you use it as a food topper, unless Hazel, like now, goes for it. Okay. Speaking of food toppers, if we don't ship out the fresh quail eggs for you or for your pets or for hatching, we make the lovely topper out of it. Let me highlight that product for a second. It's gonna look like this. So here is our, that's again available for cats and dogs, any carnivore animal. And we're gonna sprinkle a little bit on Daddy's hand here, that you can lick that. Okay, yeah. So it's really a whole box, a whole box of fresh quail eggs, freeze-dried again here on our farms in the United States. We make that when we don't ship out the fresh eggs. And as you can see, Hazel, want a few more. It's really great for them. All the nutrition, all the vitamins are being preserved, which the quail egg have. Like a single quail egg has the 5% of the daily value of vitamin A, 10% of the B12, riboflavin, 10%, folate 5%, selenium 10%. So it's really full with antioxidants, minerals. Hazel, I have here more. I know I sprinkled some on the floor. Come back here. Come back here. Yeah. And come here. Yeah. And sit. Good girl. Now you can have a bit more. So it's, yeah, typically on the normal food, but Hazel already had dinner. But as you can tell, she is always available to do an extra little something. Let me switch back here. Yeah, we make a mess here. Hazel, I don't want to feed you too much today because you went to the vet yesterday. You had dinner already. Yeah. And she was not herself today. But I'm surprised that she wanted to show up. Hazel, I continue without you because I know you need rest. Okay. It's okay. Yeah. Want to say bye to everybody? Let me switch over to your camera here. Want to wave in the camera, Hazel? Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Yeah, good girl you are. Okay, thanks so much. We go later outside and play a bit, okay? No backing now, you don't get more. I put this away, okay? Yeah, not so easy sometimes to work with animals, but Hazel is a good sport. She might back though if she wants more. And I usually give her more. My education with dogs is like, I'm not a dog trainer. Anyway, Hazel, thanks for helping out. You can go and lay down. Yeah, go night-night. Huh? Nah, she needs love now. Okay, anyway, I continue a little bit to tell you guys a little bit about our quail farm and also the products we have here. So you have seen now the food topper variations. We have a few more, but the cotton candy as well as the freeze-dried quail eggs as a food topper for pets are just awesome. Speaking of eggs, you might see that sign back here. We just recently shipped over 40,000 eggs out this year. So across all the farms in the network. And the quail eggs, they look like this, right? So 12 of these lovely, lovely nuggets are freeze-dried and in the food topper you just saw, right? I feed them also fresh to Hazel. So we do have the fresh eggs for you and your dog, cat. And they come fresh from our farm. We ship them quickly out to you. The good thing is about our farm network that we are in so many different states. So we have a presence in many, many states, right? Hazel, Texas and Louisiana and Missouri and New York, and I'm in Jersey and Florida, and I forgot somebody for sure now. I'm sorry. So yeah, so those fresh quail eggs come to you. So all the good stuff in there, like protein. There's 1 gram of protein in every quail egg. That's pretty amazing. So the nutritional value in quail eggs is such more. It's so much more dense, the quail egg, compared to a chicken egg. Even though the size is smaller, you might need 3 quail eggs, sometimes 4, sometimes just 2 if they are big ones, to compensate for 1 chicken egg. So, but the nutrition value is just awesome. It gives you a lot of energy. I had a little burger before I came on tonight, and of course, a quail egg had to go on top of it. So let's go to the weekly news section, and I show you a little bit what's going on here on the farm, and then I show you a few more products. So it was a busy week. We made a lot of treats, a lot of processing going on. We celebrated Easter with a nice big Easter fire here on the property. Hazel and I, we went for a walk. Yeah, a chief treat tester like Hazel needs to stay in shape because she gets to test every single product here on the farm. And therefore we like to go for little walks by a river, and she loves that a lot as well. Then we chopped up some firewood. I had that tree laying there on the property. I might actually later, if it's not raining, go out and enjoy a little bit time with Hazel by the fire, maybe a little ice cream. You can see I already have some seasoned firewood as well. It's always good in the winter time, reduces the heat bill. So I like to do this kind of stuff. Then I got busy today cleaning the incubator. So this is a hatching time incubator, the CT180. The number 180 comes from, it has space for 180 chicken eggs, but it can also deal with quail eggs. With the rails, what I have there, I can fit in 468 quail eggs. So I need to collect for 1 more day eggs to fill it up. I already put today's eggs in. Tomorrow the rest of the eggs go in there, and then we have another hatch going on. My wife and I, we pimped it a little bit there. We put a foil on the side of the incubator. So this is how it looks now in the, I call it the tech room, where we have all the internet stuff and backup power and all this good stuff. But as you can see there, I hope you can see it well. I can zoom in here a little bit maybe. So it's here propped now on the table. Here's some of the old incubators, what I still use for our rental program. And that is I just stick some foil on it so I can use a dry erase marker. Even though I track everything digitally, I like to, when I walk by there, which I do at least once a day, to just see it on the incubator as well, the dates. So tomorrow I'm gonna put down the set date. Then I have the so-called prep date, where I prep the brooder. That means also the existing batch in there. The little chicks, they need to move out to the grow out. Then the important date is the lockdown. This is when I unplug the egg turners and actually transfer everything into the hatching baskets. And then the hatch date itself. With this professional grade incubator, the first ones tend to hatch at day 16. and I count the day I set as well. And then the full hatch is usually completed around day 18, sometimes 19 as well. They're still okay. Um, and I have to say, compared to the styrofoam what I used to have, um, this incubator just is a game changer. The hatch rate improved dramatically. That I nearly got a little issue recently in regards to grow out space for the birdies, because the hatch rate was so great. So yeah, in regards to hatch rates, that brings me a little bit to the talking about fertile eggs as well, which we have in our store. If you want to get into quail yourself, and so the hatch rates, we test them obviously, right? By hatching ourselves, and then we have a hatch report card in every single shipment where you can report back to us how your hatch rate turned out, right? So this way we have a good benchmark and know what's the average now out there for shipped eggs, right? Last but not least, I show you my dinner with a quail egg. So,
yummy quail egg, spam, sandwich. I love it.
I put the quail egg on everything, even spam. So yeah, that was really yummy there. Extra portion there. I like it when the yolk is still a little runny. Some ketchup. Better than any fast food. And that fast food is actually really fast. I mean, took me, I don't know, 3 minutes to make it. So yeah. Tomorrow I meet some folks from the Department of Agriculture here in New Jersey. Looking forward to get to know those people a bit closer, and some of the other farmers around here. So that will be interesting. And yeah, keeping busy all week long. Now let's talk about hatching eggs, right? So that's where that number here came from. Well, the 40,000 eggs. We shipped more than 40,000 eggs this year so far. And the hatching season is not yet over. It's gonna go another 2 months for sure this year. A lot of people got a little sticker shock in the supermarket earlier this year, right? And it's still not great when you look at the prices for chicken eggs in the stores, right? And that leads to a lot of people thinking about their food supply, right? When you see limits on eggs in supermarkets, oh my God. And when I started my quail journey over 5 years ago, around 5 years now, yeah, I was like, okay, I just really want to have my own eggs. And I used to have chicken in the past, but from that, I know how hard it is to predator proof their coops if you let them free range. Not the best idea in my area. We have nature reserve close by. I was lucky enough in a way to have a hawk nesting actually in one of the big trees on my property. Why do I say lucky? Because when the hawk was around, there was no squirrel around or any other animal who is after our vegetables in the garden. So that was kind of a blessing, but also I knew, okay, with a hawk around, free range chicken is not a good idea. And my wife said, think outside the box. And she said, what about quail? And I was like, yeah, what about quail, right? So those birds, the cool thing is once you start incubating the egg, right, it takes anything from, depending on your incubator, 16 to 20 days with temperatures and all that stuff. It's not an exact science. But once they are hatched, they start laying eggs after 6 weeks. So they're an adult bird after 6 weeks once they are hatched. Sometimes some are a little later with 8 weeks or 10 weeks, but that's the max. My birds, they all start laying around 6 weeks. It's pretty great. So that means the time from you get started until you actually get eggs for your daily consumption is really quick compared to chicken, right? Chicken start laying eggs after 22 weeks, some even further out, depending what breed of chicken you get. So quail are really cool for that, and they're compact size, right? About my hand size, that's about the size of a quail. There's a standard quail, which is a little smaller, and then there's the jumbo, which really fills out my entire hand. And they get really heavy if you are after meat as well, for example, raw feeding your dog, or also, I mean, quail on a barbecue with some bacon. Lovely. So the time to get your fresh eggs is really, really quick. And that's the cool thing about the quail eggs. Also, we have a lot of teachers out there who buy from us, so thank you guys for educating our next generation, our children, in regards to where does the bird come from? What was first, the egg or the bird? I can tell you it was the egg, because when you incubate it, you start with the egg. But also, what was first, the chicken or the quail? We domesticated the quail about 4,000 years ago, and the chicken about 3,000 years ago. So the quail was domesticated earlier than the chicken, because they are easy to keep, right? And I can show you that here in a little playback when I built here a lovely cage from our friends down in Delaware, hatching time. So we like to use state-of-the-art equipment in here during a nice winter months. I was assembling this 5-tier cage system from hatching time. You find it here on Amazon, for example, as well. It's just an awesome product. With the egg rollout, keeps the eggs from getting dirty. The birds are happy in there. The quail, they would just fly away if you would let them, free roam on your property. They have flying capabilities. I mean, they cannot migrate or anything like that, right? But they would take off and fly 100, 200 feet easily. There's no clipping of wings or anything like that. With they don't have a homing instinct either, right? They would not go back into their coop at night. So that's it. Quail are awesome to keep. Very compact in size. They don't eat that much. They are messy eaters though. The chicks are adorable. You saw that on this picture here, right? That's the first quail I ever hatched. Adorable sizes. If you want to get even smaller, then you go for the button quail eggs. Let me show a picture. I hatched some earlier this year. We ship them from 3 different farms right now. Where are the buttons? They're called buttons because they are as small as a button when they hatch, and also later they don't get as big. So this is I think a 5-cent coin here, right behind the birdie. And in comparison to my wedding ring, let's have a look here.
That's our first button quail. Isn't he a cutie? He or she? Oh my god, so tiny. Look at that compared to my wedding ring. Such a cutie. Yeah, I put you in a warm now.
So yeah, that one just hatched and it was a bit clumsy, but a minute later it was running all over the carpet. Had a hard time catching it. It's a very active little birdie. So yeah, the button quail, big trend this year as well, but also all the color variations. So if you click on any product below on the Undique store on Amazon.com/Undique, you see here how to spell it up on the corner. You can see exactly all the different color variations we have: black, white, Italian, ginger, the buttons, the Georgia Giant, for example, with the tiniest egg and the biggest birds. Pretty cool. In comparison, like, I don't have a Georgia Giant egg here. We shipped it from another farm, but just as a comparison, it would be around that size here compared to a normal quail egg. The Georgia Giant is a white egg, actually, solid white, as white as our mini egg cup set, which is perfectly for normal quail eggs, by the way. I had to find a way to put that product in. We have a few left in stock, also made in the US. I make it here on the farm. I was upset that I couldn't find that anywhere online, and I wanted that because I like to scoop out with my little spoonie. I cut the top off, right, with the quail egg scissors, and then I like to spoon it out, or use the yolk as a dipping sauce for meat, raw. It's awesome. So I needed a holder for that, and here you go. Comes in a set of 4, and in 3 different colors: white, black, and blue. Hazel, you want to help me to demonstrate something what we have from another farm in Tennessee? You want to assist me? You don't look that. No, she doesn't look like that. But I'm gonna switch still the hazel cam on because I wanted to show you guys also what we do if we go to a bird swap. If we have people picking up birds on the farm. Jennifer from Brian's Roost, who is distributing those boxes, shipping boxes for live birds. Is using them herself as well since many years, and I love them also when I do a big cleanup that I can store the birds while I power wash the cages down. So this is USPS approved. It has a membrane in there which lets the air in and out, but the birds are protected from sticking out their feet or wings or peaks or whatever you want to stick out. It folds up easy. The instructions are actually here on the box as well, how to fold it. It comes in the flat, and you can then just tape it up, and that's how it's being shipped. And if you decide to ship live birds, for example, or if you want to bring them to a poultry swap and want to make sure they are safe, so a great tool as well for us on the farm. It's awesome when we have people checking for live birds. That's the way to do it. Or if we have returns from our rental program, for example. So, the Brian's Roost shipper. By the way, Brian's Roost, she does a lot of things. And chicken shippers, for example, for chicken eggs are in our store as well. She's part of our network. And there is do you see that? There is a little fly. Where do you come from? Anyway, yeah, she does a lot of stuff. She has chickens herself as well, and those chicken shippers are made in the US from an experienced breeder, so she knows exactly how you ship eggs without breakage. Speaking about breakage, that leads me back to our fertile eggs. I mean, I'm really, really happy about that. When I look at that number again, 40,000 eggs shipped, and our breakage rate is 1%. I mean, egg is the most fragile thing to ship. And sometimes I am pretty sure that my gray hair in my beard come from shipping raw eggs. But 1%, that means out of those 40,000 eggs we shipped this year so far, we're a little over that already, only 400 did break. Actually, a little less than that. The actual egg count which was breaking is less, but about 1%. It's pretty awesome. Thanks goes out to all the farmers in our network who do a great job following our packaging procedure. And when I say procedure, I mean procedure, because it is an effort to package those eggs that this arrive safely at your doorstep. Not 100%, nothing in life is 100%, but 99% of our shipments of eggs arrive without any damage. So I knock on wood, and thanks again to all our farmers who do a really awesome job there. Speaking about our farmers, let's take a look. Where are we located, right? We have a little map here. And I still haven't put the pin here to Missouri, sorry for that. But so that's our current footprint. And yeah, our network is expanding. The company was created nearly 5 years ago. In November, it's going to be 5 years. And yeah, we're expanding out west right now to really cover all markets. So within a couple of days, the eggs are with you, or any other product really. The fresh or the fertile eggs, the fresh eggs are maximum 72 hours old. The fertile eggs are maximum 48 hours old when we ship them. So we know from science and from our own experience as well that after day 10 of an egg being laid, the hatch rate starts declining. So we want to make sure that we have ample of time to get the eggs to you before the day 10. Some people out there think after 5 days. I don't know where they get their information from. That eggs are not viable after 5 days. It's not like that this egg decides after 5 days, so no, I won't hatch anymore. That's not how it works. But obviously, yeah, the longer it's in transit or the longer it's stored, the more the hatch rate goes down. So that's why we ship them out a maximum after 48 hours. Right now it's still that we actually wait for eggs being laid in order to ship them. That's why you see maybe sometimes a bit a longer delivery window, but we try to ship them early out as we do, and when we can, right? It depends on what variation you order and things like that. But yeah, awesome job from all the farmers in our network. 40,000 eggs. I mean, that's quite an operation. And with that little breakage, it's awesome. And I stand by it. Every customer who reports a breakage, it goes into a spreadsheet. I can pull that number and then see exactly what's going on. And if something breaks, please take pictures, you know, and then contact me, and we get that sorted out. You know, the packages are insured, so there shouldn't be a problem. Good stuff. What's else new on the farm? We do have for our hunting friends out there, because quail are native to the United States, and therefore they exist in the wild as well. The bobwhite, for example, but also many different types of quail are native. There is a lot of work being done in regards to preserving the habitats for the quail, but also pheasants and other birds. So we support that a lot as well. We just recently donated something to a wildlife refuge raffle. But we know that people go out there hunting, which is a good thing because population control is important. And hunting is a great sport if you do it responsible. And for that reason, we have the bird dog training kit as well, specifically for quail. So it comes with a lot of goodies. You can train your dog on retrieving quail for you. Once your hunt was successful, it comes with a real quail wing, right? This is usually, there's not much meat on them. So we preserve it just with hot air, no salt, no chemicals, no nothing. Just hot air preserves that wing really nice. That is in the pack. You've seen it earlier on the crunch sticks, which is the spine of the quail, and then we have some dehydrated legs in there as well from the quail. So a nice little kit there in a handy dandy box, so nothing breaks during shipping. And your dog, your pup will thank you. You could also, you know, go ahead and tie a little string. I can't talk anymore. Excusez-moi. That happens sometimes. You can put a little string around, and that becomes then another product, actually, what we have separate too, which we call the wing on the string, which is not just for dogs, it's for cats. The real bird play. So you saw the wing there. We put a string around it. It's nicely preserved. Comes in a resealable package, so you can use it many times. If your cat is rough fighting with the birdie, then you might see some feathers going around. It's a natural product. So we had once a customer contact me and said their puppy got so excited during playing with that it actually swallowed it. The good news is the quail bones are very thin little bones in that wing. And Hazel, our chief treat tester, in an unattended movement, she grabbed 10. Remember that, Hazel? You ate 10 of them. It's not recommended, but it's better than, you know, all these plastic toys and stuff. If it accidentally happens, right? Monitor your dog, your cat. But it's a natural product. In Hazel's case, after she had 10 wings, yeah, her poop had feathers in them. But she was fine other than that, and that's more than a year ago, and the vet just told me she's a happy dog. So, a healthy, happy dog. So if an accident happens, and the cat probably would have a hard time swallowing that, but a puppy like Hazel's size, yeah, could happen. So, shouldn't happen, be careful with that, but if it happens, it's not the end of the world usually, right? Compared to a plastic toy, right? So yeah, great product as well, which we make here on our farms. And that rounds up a little bit the products we have today. I have seen no questions so far, so I'm just gonna wait for a minute and take a sip to see if you guys have any questions about the product. And other than that, I'm gonna show you maybe some cute quail videos, which are a little older, but they're cute, so I might show you some of them. Okay, let's do that. I love to show. I love to show my birds. They are the cutest birds in the world. So the other day when I was cleaning, I took one out there to check on the health. So this is a brown type, or they are sometimes called wild type. They basically have the Faro gene in there as well, which is pretty much anywhere. But I'm not a gene expert, as you can tell. We have them in our network, though, if you have any genetic questions about the hatching eggs we have. Then, yeah, the bird is in the brooder. Let's take a look at them.
Now, everybody happy in the new home? Yeah? Undique cute? Get more food soon.
Since I saw some yellow chicks running around there, if they're yellow, they turn later white, because I had once a customer as well texting me after they hatched the fertile eggs for the jumbo white, what we have, and they were like, "Oh, you mixed up the eggs. They are not white. They are yellow. I want my money back." And I'm like, "Okay." You get your money back in if they're still yellow in a couple of weeks, and I haven't heard back from the customer because they turn white afterwards, so that's fine. So you learn something about quail a little bit. They change color. At least the white ones there do. What else we got? Happy quail here in the cages. What I showed you early on. You see the poop trays there underneath, right?
Just got food, eggs are collected.
Yeah,
Don't be
they're all
shy.
healthy, happy,
Oh, you're cute.
and curious. Very curious little birds. They like rock music, at least when I put it on. They don't complain about it.
Plenty of
When
food
I do
there
the
for you.
cleaning and feeding, we listen
Oh,
to
that's
music,
pretty
then
good
they
up
are
there.
less
One of
spooked
the-
if somebody enters their room.
4 or 5 weeks old
You see
now.
all the different
You
color
should start
variations
laying eggs
there. So
soon.
it's a really cool
Yeah.
hobby if you think about retirement or a new hobby. Quail is a great hobby with benefits.
Don't be shy.
These
Oh,
lovely
you're
fresh
curious.
eggs you get every day, which you can use like normal chicken eggs. Right? That one had a bit of a funny look. I think it was laying eggs in that moment. Definitely, that was a creepy eye. Yeah, I have to admit. Okay, yeah. This is how it looks like when I do a cleanup of the brooder, for example, which is regularly happening as well. So I have a little washing station next to the aviary where the birds are now during the spring and summer and fall time as well. They are allowed to free roam, some of the birdies as well. So I have a few different setups, you know, and every setup has their good side and their bad side, you know. For example, if you keep birds in an aviary, right, you have to be careful on how high the ceiling is, right? So 6 foot is okay, because quail, if they get spooked, they jump up, and you don't want it to get injured or anything. So with the greenhouse kind of structure, what I use there, it's a soft hit in case they hit it, but it's high enough that they usually don't go that high up anyway. And the downside of an aviary is you get eggs with poop on them, right? So they are not really great eggs for us, for example, to ship them out, right? So we do that for our own consumption, for our own eggs, what we need for hatching and all that stuff. But you know, if an egg has poop on them, then it's no good to ship it out. So that's the downside of an aviary setup. It's a daily Easter egg hunt as well. It's great if you have children who are into that as well and go and grab all the eggs in the morning or in the evening. It's a great little task for the kids as well. Yeah. Then you could have like something like that. This is a rabbit hutch actually. Still thinking if I should get rabbits as well, or if I'm gonna use it for quail. A farmer gifted that to me. Was just washing it. It needs a little bit love. For quail, what I don't like so much is the wire on the bottom is not great for their feet. So I guess it's gonna become a rabbit hutch. So eventually we're gonna get some rabbits there. Yeah. Other use case for eating quail eggs with a ramen. I crack them in there with the steam of the hot water, 4 minutes. It's just perfect. I like it, the yolk a little runny, and it's a great addition and adds. It really fills you up actually if you crack 2 quail eggs into a little dish of ramen. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we had our Easter session as well recently, right? So I show those pictures again. In case you follow this channel, you might have seen them already, but for the new people out there, so this is like a 10-day-old birdie. And their call is very cute, isn't it? Great birds, great birds. Yeah, I have no update on the wild birds yet. They still have their nest there in my back porch in this little container where I normally have my working clothes and gear in there, but they occupied that now. I'm gonna try to get an update for you by next week. I obviously don't want to disturb the parent birdies there, that they, you know, don't return to their nest if they see me fiddling around there with a camera or something. But I'm gonna try when they are not around to see if I can snap a picture what we got there hatching in the backyard there as well. Speaking of hatching, so that one was a recent hatch.
It's hatch day on the farm. Friday.
Like
1, 2, 3. Oh my god, so many.
So it's quite a task to count them all, make sure they're all healthy. Yeah, the cleaning obviously before and after today. I spent about an hour cleaning the incubator, and then the baskets, what you see here, those white baskets to come with that incubator. You can fit about, let's say 70 eggs
7,
in one basket. And there's 6 baskets which go in the CP180.
34.
Some people do a dual setup.
Undique.
You get then a hatcher as well,
36.
or get the second CT180 and use it just as a hatcher. So you only really have
40.
one incubator if you do that.
42.
Do a rotation
44.
a staggered hatching.
46. 48. 50.
So yeah, lots of counting, and so we know that the eggs are fertile, but there's no guarantee that they are 100% fertile. Therefore, we don't mention that in our product listing either. But obviously, we can sell fresh eggs, we can sell fertile eggs, we can make the powder out of it. So the eggs we ship for hatching, they are the best quality eggs, what we would hatch ourselves, right? That you have the best outcome at home, right? Just as a little side note here. It is awesome. This teacher who contacted me the other day asking about he wanted to order eggs for his classroom and also one of his colleagues, and he was thinking to get 12 eggs. And I was like, well, 12 eggs, if you divide it up, then 6 there, you're only gonna get maybe 50% hatch rate. Depending on your experience, if the classroom, maybe it's not climatized at night, there's a lot of temperature fluctuation in schools, in the classroom, right? So I recommended them get at least 24 eggs, right? Then 12 for this teacher, 12 for yourself. And if you get about 50% hatch rate, then you have 6 chicks. Then there's a bit of action there for the kids, right? And hatch rates really depend a lot on the shipping, on the equipment being used. Right? Is the incubator calibrated? Do you have a calibrated thermostat within the incubator on the egg level, that the humidity is okay, the temperature is okay? Some birth defects come from wrong temperature settings and wrong humidity. So that's really important to know. And therefore we can't guarantee the hatch rates, but with confidence and the honor as a farmer, I can tell you we ship the best eggs out, that you can have the best results, but there's no guarantee for anything in life other than you have to pay taxes, right? Here is a quail chick which was falling asleep in my hands, so they are really cute. Yeah, great little birdies. The first thing I do in the morning and the last thing I do in the evening is to check on the birds, so they have a very happy life here on the farm. And when their day comes, they make other animals happy. For example, this is Hazel's cousin, Mia, and she's a German Shepherd, and she loves the crunch bites, right? Hazel's crunch bites. Hazel, I haven't shown your product actually. Just I only spoke about it very, very little. So that's Hazel's quail crunch bites, and these ones are really crunchy because we actually use eggshell to mix it in with the premium quail meat, and then we just dehydrate it, and that gives it a nice crunch. And the eggshell we put in there, so it's an extra portion of calcium, and it's actually interesting. Hazel gets quite a lot of them, as you can imagine. I mean, there's her face on it. And when we went to the vet yesterday, they of course checked her teeth as well. And she's asking, are you brushing her teeth? And I said, like, yeah, every once in a while when she lets us. And she said, well, they look pretty good. And I told her about the crunch bites. And she said, well, yeah, that makes sense, you know. If she chews that nice, the little shell particles in there, it's a little bit like foliating, right? It's like this toothpaste you have with this little stuff in there, which kind of, you know. So the vet was impressed by Hazel's teeth yesterday. Remember that, Hazel? Oh, she's sleeping. She's dreaming now. Is your dog also moving when when he's sleeping? So cute. I should install the Hazel cam further next to her bed, I guess, but then I could switch over to that. But anyway, sorry, got a little distracted here. So yeah, Hazel's crunch bites. Get them. You can also subscribe and save that you get them regularly shipped. That would help us here on the farm as well if you subscribe and save. So you get a better price by having the subscription, and we can plan a little bit better on how many we have to make. So yeah, that sums it a little bit up, I guess, on what's going on this week on the farm. So tomorrow I have an early day, meeting the folks from the Department of Agriculture. That will be nice. We're gonna test some birds on a wildlife refuge in regards to that ugly stuff going out there on there, and getting certified and all that good stuff. And from there we take it. Next week we have some production things going on. Right, we have to make more treats. We have to get we're gonna put eggs in the incubator by tomorrow. What else we have going on, Hazel? We have to do firewood for the winter. I like to do that now in the spring, so it has time to dry out over the summer, and it's also easier to do firewood when you're not, like, you know, when you have 100 degrees outside, right? It gets that hot here in New Jersey sometimes. So that's on the list for next week. We have 2 new product launches as well. So check out our news channels. You know, we do the posts there as well on Amazon. If you follow our little brand here, then you get updates there as well. And yeah, and we're gonna work on the new storefront. So back office is always something we have to think about here on the farm as well. So thankfully I'm not alone. We have many farms here. So with every order, you support small scale family farms here in the United States. The folks there I'm working with, they have more American accents than I do, but that's, you know, it's always fun when we get together to our, oh yeah, that's coming up next week as well, our monthly partner call, where we all get together, all the farmers. We talk about new product developments, how the first quarter went of this year, ideas about quail keeping, all that good stuff. So that's what we do here in our little farm network. And yeah, you support us with every order. It's a great thing. We thank you so much. You make our dreams come true. I mean, I was not a born farmer. I came from the IT industry from Europe originally. came here as an expert for IT, and now I'm helping small farms like my own to promote their products online and bring the best quality products made and laid from quail to you guys. So thanks for watching tonight. I wish you a great start into the weekend. Have a great next week. I will be back online next week Friday, so watch this space, 7:30 Eastern as always. And with that, I say good night. My name is Christian from Undique, and again, thanks for watching.